Welcome back, though, ladies and gents. I'm going to put on the crazy glasses and the hat. Welcome back to Death Stranding. This is turning more into a speed run because I got a lot, we've still got a lot to cover in this game. We need to, excuse me. Oh gosh. We need to hurry up and get through this game. So we going.
Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear.
But welcome back. Oh, I need to turn this back up because Gears was so fucking loud. It didn't have a volume thing on it. So I need to turn this back up to like 19 on that. I'll do that later. No, that's not what I meant to do. We're going to try to drive the truck as far as we can. We gotta go see the craftsman.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Well, not see the craftsman, but we gotta go to the craftsman way. That's where we need to go.
Don't give up. Keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on.
Someone's happy.
Safe travels.
Okay, so I feel like that's gonna go up the mountain, but you know what? So are we. We're heading up the mountain, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to go.
Okay.
I can at least give you that. Be a little helpful. Right, so we're going straight this way, correct? Into a BT area. Nice. Great. I didn't realize. Fuck you, BTs! I refuse! Uh-oh. No! Get off me. Get off me. Get off me. Get off me. Oh, a single shot kills him? Okay, 2 shots kills him. Are you still alive? I don't understand. It's saying it's really close. We're going to be back to walking again soon, I feel like. Gotta remember the auto pavers. Those could help in the future. Although, truth be told, I probably should have set up a zip line here. Although I gotta get them on the chiral network first, don't I? Do I have any sprays? I do not.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges on. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you.
Oh, you must be Sam Bridges. That one-man expedition team? They may be cut off up here, but word still travels. We've heard all about the Great Deliverer, the BT Buster, the terrorist, stopper. I'm still working on that last one. Well, I'm just stoked to meet you, man. So, what you got for us? Whoa, incredible. This will be a huge help. Thanks. You're not gonna even recognize the way station when we're through.
Breathe in. Almost a 3.
All right. All we need now is to get jacked into the network. Am I right?
Oh, bro, I didn't even change my title. Dude, I was in such a fucking rush to get going. I didn't even change my titles. Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I love how it did not replace my thumbnail. That's awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. That may fuck up my YouTube. I don't know. That's a big fat fucking whoopsie on my part. Armor plate, level 1. Armor plate, silver and gold. Non-lethal assault rifle. Non-lethal assault rifle?
Man, it sure feels good to be part of the UCA for real. We've been literally marooned on an island for way too long. I can't wait to reconnect with everyone at HQ. Patching up this place is gonna take some work, but I'm feeling revved up and ready to go like never before. We won't let our country down. Thanks, Sam. And good luck out there. Not that you need it. You're gonna hit the West Coast before you know it.
Good work, Sam. Next, you need to extend the network to the distro center north of the city. Now'd be a damn good time to do it, too, as they just sent out an SOS call. Info's still coming in, but it looks like there's been an accident, and we've got injured in need of assistance. Check the delivery terminal for details.
Good work. New order available.
Oh no.
That's armor for your shoulders and legs. The downside is that you won't be able to carry cargo on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to weigh the pros and cons.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely don't want to remove that, so...
Thank you for your contribution.
Oh yeah, I gotta take that, that mission, don't I? You know what? I'm gonna fabricate, Damn, okay.
Remember, Sam, when the clock's ticking, speed is what matters most of all. Review your gear and bring only what you need to make it to your destination as fast as possible.
Order assigned.
Should not have gotten rid of my fucking truck. That's all I'm saying.
Stay safe out there.
Restrictions lifted.
Really could be great if I can get a vehicle off someone. The fuck is... Oh my god, I feel like those would kill you.
Looks like a path.
Oh god, high squatching.
There we go.
Tired. No, I lost my fucking car and I forgot I had to go here like 45 minutes. I got 40 minutes, 38 minutes to get to this fucking area, but I think I'll clear it in time. As long as I don't get anything else getting in my way. I love how that just went. Oh no 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 no. It went no. Oh no. That's funny shit.
This looks like the way to go. Looks like a path.
Okay, yeah, gotta go this way. Yeah, my speech chat. Ooh, very nice.
This looks like the way to go.
Way station north of Mountain Knot City. So where am I going here? Distribution center north of Mountain Knot City. Uh-oh. Oh, that's fucking not good at all. Well, unfortunately, guys, I'm gonna have to go through you. Oh shit! He's trying to hit me with it! No! I have 3 bullets on this thing. You know what? Let's bola gun it. I just wanted to be left alone to fucking deliver my packages, but none of you guys could do that. You all had to be fucking assholes. So now you get to go to sleep. Irelium gauge. Terrorist boots? Terrorists have boots? Oh shit. Ow! Ow! He hit me with his fucking car! BB, I can't fucking do anything for you right now. That may have been stupid. I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm in trouble. I gotta go.
Sam, we're thinking you ran afoul of a local terrorist cell. Former mules who took a turn for the worse. Stealing cargo doesn't do it for them anymore. Mayhem and destruction are their drugs of choice now. But you didn't give them the satisfaction. You kept your cargo safe. Great work. I doubt you've seen the last of them, though. Keep your eyes peeled, huh?
Okay. So we're safe now. Really should have brought my car with me, but okay. There's another buildable road right there.
Let's go.
I swear, Squatchin', I need to hire you to make emotes for me sometime. I don't know. Did I just... Wow. I just totally fucking magnet grabbed crypto bytes. Have you do like a... Oh, I dropped some of my PCCs in my bola gun. Oh, whatever. Other people can claim it. No big deal.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo.
Whoa!
Thank you. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
At some point, I need to start building my fucking zipline system.
So much. Our med team should have no trouble patching him up now. You're a lifesaver. I can't believe how fast you were. Hey, watch yourself out there. You're ashamed to lose someone with your skills. Wasn't an accident, by the way. It was an attack. Someone slipped explosives into a parcel we processed. Separatist assholes think this land is theirs for the taking. They may be right. Any one of us could have handled that package. Fuck me. We have to be more careful. Beef up our security. At least we didn't lose anyone this time. Thank you, Sam. Really. I hear the chiral network is coming along. You think the signal's strong enough to reach us here? I hope so. Give it a try, huh?
Assault rifle level 2, non-lethal level 2.
It worked? Oh, that's great. We've been starving for info. And if we run into any more trouble, we can get the word out sooner. I can't thank you enough.
All right, Sam. There aren't any more stops to make before Mountain Knot City. But this last leg will be the hardest yet. Rest up at the private room and check your gear before you set out.
Oh shit, my speed's all fucked up again. I gotta fix my modem later. Oh shit, bro.
Amelie!
Higgs and his people came. They finally reached Edgenot City. There's no escape for me now. Everyone's dead, the city's destroyed, and what's left is crawling with BTs. They're everywhere.
Where's your Kipu?
But I was able to sneak away and reach out to you. This might be our last chance to talk like this. I just wanted you to know that I'm safe. For now. Promise me you'll keep building the chiral network. It's our only hope for the future. It's my only hope for freedom. And when you've finished, we can go back east together.
Amelie, your Kipu, where is it?
Sam, I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
And we're back.
EX grenade number 0.
Need 2 grenades. Let's check on BB. Oh, God, we've got so much to read. All right. We have to go down there and take out those terrorists. Music player, waiting for 10 years. Gosia, without you, breathe in. Data, memory chips. The Mingwu was a variation of the heavily armored frame arms mechanoid known as the Ginbu. Project Resphere was originally conceived as a means of creating a bright new future for mankind, but it was sadly never able to achieve this noble goal. The AI of a lunar planet went haywire and launched an all-out assault against humanity. Whose only hope was to adapt the frame architecture robot skeleton for combat. Thus was a technology designed to bring peace and prosperity, tragically repurposed as a weapon of war. I didn't even get the memory chip in the fucking terrorist cell, did I? Pottery is made by digging clay from the ground and hardening it at high temperature, but while the resulting material may be hard, it is also fragile and will break at the slightest drop or knock. Charles Darwin was a grandson of the founder of England's greatest pottery dynasty, the Wedgwoods. And it was his uncle, Josiah Wedgwood II, who insisted that his nephew join the HMS Beagle on its legendary voyage in order to further his scientific investigations. Had that not happened, the theory of evolution may never have come into being. History is full of such fragile connections, a thought worth bearing in mind while carrying out the delicate task of delivering pottery. Enhanced model of the reverse trike, beloved of porters everywhere. It's truly a legendary machine that's been given a serious boost in battery power and made impervious to damage. Inspired by Ride with Norman Reedus, the hit TV show, it's a masterpiece made with love and respect and is said to have received rave reviews from the show's eponymous host. A ride on this piece is sure to boost your excitement and oxytocin levels to the max. Yeah, that's the one I'm missing. Interviews. Situation after the first Death Stranding incident. Die Hardman, 3 years ago. Bridges HQ. It was a series of huge explosions. Well, not so much a series. They were simultaneous worldwide. The global comms infrastructure was shot to hell, but we salvaged what we could and tried to make sense of what had happened. Didn't seem like much at the time, but it was a hell of a lot better than what we have now. Anyway, the government figured the whole thing was a terrorist attack at first. We'd been dealing with a lot of those back then, but it didn't take long to see that this was something else. The craters left by the blast were bizarre. There was no rubble, no dust even, which led the scientists to rule out meteor strikes. There was trace neutron radiation, alpha rays, but we knew it wasn't nukes either. Some of the particles we detected we'd never even seen before, chiralium, although we didn't know it at the time. The more we studied them, the more our scientists came to the same conclusion. These were the results of annihilation events. It was right about that time the chiral cloud started to form, and after that, all communication with the outside world went down for good. No blue in the inverted rainbow. Dead man 1 year ago. Bridges HQ. We humans are complex multicellular organisms. 60 trillion cells inside each of one of us, they say. How many of these cells need to die to consider a person dead? Hold on, I'm actually going to turn this down just a little bit more. Right about there. Are there any cells in particular which determine whether a person is alive or dead? These questions are academic, of course. The exact point of death can't be calculated using cell counts. On the other hand, no one can deny the existence of degenerative diseases that gradually destroy more and more cells, leaving their victim effectively half dead. And what about me? Most of my organs have been harvested from other people. They still work, of course, but could their original owner have been said to be alive? I really don't know. Incidentally, have you ever heard of a fun little experiment they once did with roundworms called C. elegans? These creatures are notable for glowing bright blue when exposed to UV light, but only when they die. It seems to be a reaction from the anthranylic acid within the organism, and it's known as death fluorescence. Yep, that's right. Blue is very much the color of death, it seems. Can it therefore really be a coincidence that there's no blue in an inverted rainbow? Timefall strengthens an area's connection to the beach. This is something to do with chiral particles becoming excited, I believe. In spaces connected to the beach, electromagnetic waves with a blue wavelength can travel easily through the seam, leaking out onto the beach. Some people think that's where the blue from the inverted rainbow goes. Who knows? The fact that blue has a strong connection to death, though, that much seems pretty unarguable. I don't think we're going to be finishing, or I don't think we're going to be starting Death Stranding 2 on release date. I think I'm going to be like still deep diving into this game on release date because I've got a bunch of like things to do, unfortunately, throughout the next few weeks and weekends, and I won't be able to stream as much as I'd like. So Death Stranding 2 is probably going to end up being late, but I am going to buy it. I'm going to get it purchased. So that's the important thing. That's the important thing. Giant BTs, Hartman's lab 2 years ago. Following assessment is based entirely on eyewitness testimony. Be advised that none of these claims have been independently verified. There are several types of BT. Hold on. This fucking thing did it again. No, it didn't. It changed the thumbnail. Yeah, I got to do a reset on the modem after the stream's over today. Hold on. I do need to replace this, though. Also, today's video might be short. It might be shorter. It might be only a couple hours. Today might actually be really, really short, as much as I don't want it to be. Where's my Death Stranding deep dive video? There we go. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to upgrade to remove the watermarks for this shit. Cunt fucking thing. Oh my god, little pain in my ass. Alright, hold on. It's being a fucking pain in my butt. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I'm not gonna do that. There are several types of BTs, and the means by which they interact with the living also varies. Some BTs actively seek out human beings, while others attempt to draw us towards them. Still others are capable of consuming their prey, causing a void out in the process. It is not only their roles and behavior that set them apart, however. The physiology is also different. Moreover, we have anecdotal evidence suggesting the existence of some truly enormous BTs. Curiously, however, these ones do not appear to have umbilical cords. Giant BTs are comprised of the consolidated ka of multiple deceased individuals. As a result, their connection between each individual and their beach is lost, which is why the resulting BT does not manifest an umbilical cord. That's the theory at any rate. Unfortunately, I doubt we'll be able to learn more about these entities until the chiral network is online, a day that can't come soon enough. The history of the Odra deck. Hartman Bridges HQ 2 years ago. Does the name Sigmund Freud mean anything to you? He was a famous psychologist, the most famous of them all, perhaps, but I digress. Freud formulated one of his most famous theories after observing his grandson playing with a spool of thread. The boy would throw the spool under the bed, thus ensuring that he could not see it anymore. He would then wind the thread in his hand, gradually drawing the spool back towards him until it became visible again. He repeated this process several times. It was apparently a game he played whenever his mother was elsewhere. Freud proposed that the process of concealing and rediscovering the spool was a coping mechanism, a way in which his boy could put his mind at ease. You see, the boy was in control of the spool. He could make it disappear and reappear at will. This helped him to comprehend his mother's absence not as something sudden or irrational, but as something it trolled, and therefore not a cause for concern. A novelist named Franz Kafka later coined a term for the spool of thread, Odradek. However, he conceived it as an object capable of speech and autonomous movement, a mysterious being neither dead or alive. The Odradeks we use are perhaps not so different. The interfaces through which we experience our BB's perception of their surroundings are not unlike spools of thread, a connection between our world and the other side, the living and the dead, human and BB. BTs come in all shapes and sizes. Hartman, 2 years ago. Although eyewitness testimony has led us to identify several types of BTs, perhaps most interesting of all are the entities which may not be BTs at all. The subjects in question bear some semblance to jellyfish and are visible even to those without dooms. While we have little information concerning their physiology and behavior, upon detecting the presence of a human, they will attack by rapidly approaching their target before exploding. Disturbing to say the least, especially given that they appear to be impervious to small arms fire, though perhaps we can take comfort in the fact that they do not seem capable of causing void outs. Our best guess at the moment is that these are subspecies of BT, one that does not form as a result of a human death. Beyond that, they are a complete mystery. Perhaps when the repatriate Sam Porter chooses to join Bridges, we can attempt to develop a means of dealing with this new threat. In the meantime, however, we can but continue to study and speculate. Near-death experience. Until relatively recently, death could only be studied from the perspective of an external observer, as the experience of one's own death could not be communicated to another. A collaborative investigation of the phenomenon was fundamentally impossible, but through the examination of subjects in near-death states and the cataloging of their experiences, we have at last been able to bring the scientific method to bear on this most final of frontiers. Even those in a state of so-called brain death exhibit signs of consciousness. What could this possibly mean? Moreover, why do some on the brink of death report out-of-body experiences? Furthermore, why do so many of those who have such experiences describe the same sensations of being beckoned towards a distant light? Many had argued that these commonalities were evidence of an objective reality, of a place beyond life. If nothing else, they at least suggested that death was not an instantaneous change of states, but a process. The Beach has since proven much of this beyond a doubt, and the dead rising again as BTs through necrosis demonstrates this process in action. The place beyond life is no longer a theoretical possibility. Its existence must be taken as incontrovertible fact. We should have one or two more? No. Oh, that was quick. Mail. Anything left outside America? Sam, thanks again. You've done a great deal to keep things ticking here at the weather station, which we appreciate. And the Chiral Network, it's incredible. If you can continue to expand coverage with your Cupid, it won't be long before we'll have real-time tracking of meteorological phenomenon all over the continent. We still won't have much of an idea what's going on elsewhere, but there's not a whole lot we can do about that. And while I may be chasing rainbows, I still hope we can get a view from above the clouds one day. It's crazy. No one really knows what happened to the rest of the world, even now. Maybe the Stranding destroyed everything except America. Maybe we're the only ones shrouded in clouds of chiral matter and the rest of the world is carrying on without us. Or maybe the whole damn universe got wiped out and we're all that's left floating in space. Alright, that last one's just me being a pessimistic ass, but the point stands. We need to know what's out there. And to do that, we need you to bring the whole continent into the network. You're our best hope, Sam. Our only hope, in fact. Yeah, I think I'm just still going to take my time with this, man. Like, we'll get to Death Stranding 2 when we get to Death Stranding 2. I just really want to dive into this game. We will get to, like, we will do Death Stranding 2 after this is over. But you know what? If we're, like, a week off or whatever, no big deal. If I could paint a BT's picture. I may be an engineer by trade, but I'm not half bad at painting either. You know, with pens and brushes and all that. Learned it all from my mother. With the right tools and enough time, I can faithfully recreate what I see on paper, or whatever elaborate vistas I can envision with my mind's eye. Which got me thinking, what if I made a picture of a BT? I believe what makes it so terrifying is that we don't know what they look like. So if someone with dooms like you could describe what you saw, I could give your words shape and color, and maybe we'd be a little less afraid. I might even be enough to coax a few shut-ins outside for a bit. But even if we can't change them, I know you've changed me. Thanks for everything, Sam. Don't be a stranger. Porter's coming through again, the craftsman. Hey, Sam, remember that porter I told you about? He came around again. Been by my old place, the one in the ruins, you know? As to the why, well, seems he'd gone and snatched up some of my belongings. Must he set of work clothes I let slip I was pining for at our last meet. Wasn't a proper ask or anything. More a be nice if I had him sort of thing. So I said it. The next thing I knew, he up and says he'll bring him back. I told him no, ain't nothing worth the hassle. No need to try to be another Sam, but he went and did it anyway. Came back goods in hand, safe and sound. He's not alone though. Said he formed a team with another porter, one to keep watch for BTs and another to manage the cargo. Neither of them's got dooms, but together they can almost manage well as you. At least they did this time, eh? It's amazing what people can do when they put their minds to it, and when someone like you is around to provide inspiration. Slaves to the wheat. Dear Sam, seems we've grown more wheat than we can harvest, more than a bot could handle even. They've even been making use of that new Odra deck feature we shared with you. A friend of ours developed it, especially for us so that we could analyze the soil and choose the best spots for growing wheat. Ours got lost in the terrorist attack on Middle Knot City, though. Still, we could definitely vouch for how useful it was. Be sure to give it a try if you haven't already. Anywho, we've been doing some light reading to try and figure out what to do with our bumper crop, and it turns out the history of wheat is really quite fascinating. Did you know it was originally a strain of grass native to the Middle East? That's right, but it wasn't until our ancestors began to cultivate it that it really came into its own. Turned hunters into farmers overnight, changing the evolution of mankind. Homo sapiens settled down in one place and stockpiled food rather than chasing it all over the creation, and with stability came society, culture, religion, all courtesy of little old wheat. But it wasn't a one-way street. Oh no, wheat made out like a bandit. That obscure Middle Eastern grass wound up spreading to all four corners of the globe. You can even say it was the wheat that used us, and not the other way around. In fact, some scholars say just that we became slaves to wheat. What do you think about that, Are we about to become slaves all over again? I sure hope not. Future's looking bright for Port Knot City. Hey there, Sam. Port Knot City growing by leaps and bounds. I told you about all those cranes and whatnot before, right? Well, that was only the beginning. These days there are so many containers coming in and out of the distro center that it's a challenge just to get to the front door. We've been working really hard to increase our productivity, and I'm proud to say that as a result, our exports to other distro centers and way stations are increasing all the time. Which means, of course, that we're importing more and more in return as well. This must be what it feels like to put the country back together, right? Bringing people together, building up the UCA. I used to think it was all a pipe dream, but I see it happening now, bit by bit, every damn day. We even get bot deliveries out here. If that's not a sign that we've been pulling our weight, I don't know what is. Actually, I heard some of the bots were assigned to you. I hope you're making use of them. I mean, it's thanks to you and the chiral network that they're even viable in the first place. I tell you, I don't know what we'd do without your help. Amazing potential of hologram generators. I'm grateful to you, Sam. It really was you every time. I've got to say, joining the UCA's opened up a real treasure trove of data, but it seems I'm not the only one who got some new toys to play with. He's not at 5 stars. I just realized that. Son of a bitch. Have you given your Odradek's new hologram generator a try? It's pretty amazing. Not only do the grams look just like real rocks, they don't get picked up by mule scanners either. You can even use them for concealment. It's not unlike the technology and techniques we once used to make old movies. Light and shade, optical illusions, but the level of realism is something else. Let you in on a little secret. I used a hologram generator to sneak into a mule encampment and shoot some footage. They had no idea I was there. It's amazing what kind of shots you can get when no one knows you're filming. In fact, I've decided I'm going to use the same technique to shoot a whole movie. I'm going to call it The Great Deliverer. I've already got you down for the starring role, Sam. You won't disappoint me, will you? Is it weird to have feelings for bots? It stays between you and me, okay? I'm trusting you. Right, here goes. Thing is, I've come to have feelings for the delivery bots. Nothing weird, just, you know how people are happy to see you when you drop by and worry about when you're not around? It's like that for the bots. I can tell them apart. Know their every scratch, every patch of peeling paint, every little quirk. I know their personalities, and if we lost one, I can't say I wouldn't shed a tear or two. Sounds crazy, right? AIs and bots don't have feelings, but humans can't help it. Convincing yourself it's not logical and trying to fight it is easier said than done. Maybe that's why people used to name their cars, because they were more than just tools, you know? Not that you don't understand. You've got a BB. They may tell you it's just equipment. You may tell yourself that too, but that's not what you believe in your heart of hearts, is it? What do you think of the chiral boots? Dear Sam, thank you again for everything you've done for us. I've been wondering, how are those chiral boots of yours holding up? My daughter's the one who made them, in case you didn't know. I'm not too sure how they work myself. Something about a chiralium coating making them extra durable. I'd be worried about chiral contamination myself, to tell the truth, so I wouldn't blame you if you didn't wear them and just held on to them as a keepsake. Having said that, if I know anything about you, Sam, you're going to want to try them out at least once. You strike me as someone who values practical over the ornamental. My daughter made several pairs like that, you know. She's really quite something, isn't she? Anyway, if you do decide to take them for a spin, let me know how they treat you. How's my ladder working out for you? Hey, Sam. You find a use for that ladder I gave you? I built it with my own 2 hands, you know, so it's one of a kind, not some run-of-the-mill gadget. For one thing, if you probably noticed this already, it's coated with chiral crystals. Little trick I picked up from my better half, as you might have guessed. Downside is that the coating renders it unprintable. Not that you'll ever have to fabricate a replacement, of course. We're talking super lightweight and timefall resistant to boot. It's the last ladder you'll ever need, unless you lose it. You haven't, right? Anyway, let me know what you think, okay? Feedback is always welcome. I sort of recycled them, though. Be sure to use your otter hood. That otter hood I made for you is pretty special. I know because I tested it out myself. By putting it on, you transform into an otter, and I'm not talking about your appearance. You literally become one with the water. Did you notice I even put a Bridges logo on it for you? It's proof that no one else has done anything like it. I'm so happy that I'm able to support your work. Us humans should strive to live in harmony with nature. We won't survive for long if we're always fighting against it. We need to go with nature's flow, surrender ourselves to the natural rhythms of the world. That's what I think, anyway. That's why I got into cosplay. I want to lose myself in a character. Let the character take over. Some people think it's just an excuse to wear fancy clothes, but they're missing the point. It's an art, the art of transformation. We should all embrace our place in the world. There was a time when I tried to stay apart from it all, but after meeting my beloved, my eyes have been opened. And that's why I've decided I'm going to sign a contract with Bridges and see where that takes me. When I was younger, I was something of a professional host. I travel all over the country and speak at events, meet interesting people, and so on. In my own little way, I was helping to bring America together, too. I really believed that. Sure, I was scared of BTs, but I had lots of porter friends, so we used to travel together from city to city. They called me the Wandering Host. I remember the first time I was asked to take part in a cosplay event. I didn't really understand the concept at first, but that event opened my eyes and showed me how wonderful cosplay could be. Most people are skeptical, but it's something you can't understand unless you've experienced it for yourself. A total transformation into someone or something else. I was an instant convert. I started running my own cosplay events, trying to get everyone to see how amazing it really is. I was at one of these events that I met my girl. Her costumes are incredible on a whole other level. It's not just her techniques either. It's her spirit, her soul. She's transcended to a higher plane. Anyway, she's the one who made the otter hood. Maybe you've already noticed, but putting that on will pretty much turn you into an otter. That should be useful at some point, right? I want to share her passion with the whole world. That's why I persuaded her to hook up to the chiral network and join the UCA the next time you drop by. With my people skills and her designs, we'll get the whole country on the cosplay train before you know it. You did it, Sam. You beat the mules. It's really quiet around the distro center these days. I guess you must put those mules in their place. How the hell did you manage that? How the hell did you manage to walk across an entire continent and never have to kill anyone? I mean, that was one thing you couldn't do, right? Kill someone. That's another crater to deal with. Anyway, I don't know how you did it, but I'm grateful. Our bots are way more useful than they used to be, and it's all down to you. Used back into the theaters. I tried toying with that tablet you brought me. Such a flimsy, cheap thing, and yet it was capable of displaying all manner of video and imagery, courtesy of my contract with Bridges. I suppose it could be useful in some respects, but my experience is ultimately lacking. I long for the halcyon days when people would pack themselves in the movie theaters. And we'd laugh together, cry together, jump and fright together, when cinema was a communal experience. But then came the tyranny of the tablets, which reshaped how media was shot. All dramatic close-ups and cliffhangers designed to draw you into the next installment. Bah! It was a far cry from the golden age of film, from when the silver screen reigned supreme. I tell you, I was born a century too late. Wheat's great and all, but... Dear Sam, thanks for stopping by again. I'm sure it was plain enough to see, but this farming experiment of ours has been a runaway success. I'll tell you what, if Amelie's never took an interest in our research, you never put us in touch with the weather station folks, none of this would have been possible. Thanks to you two, we'll be able to provide a constant supply of food for one and all. Having said that, this life isn't exactly the one we had in mind. We came here to study the effects of timefall on plant life. We never intended to stick around and become farmers. But then we got to thinking it might be possible to reclaim crater soil, and one thing led to another. I don't know if Amelie expected we'd stay here this long, and we're still keen to continue our research. We've got more to offer the world than wheat, but if we don't move on, does that mean we really have become slaves to it all after all? Can't wait to watch you win. Great work, Sam. You restored the racetrack to its former glory. What a gift to all of us, the thrill of the chase. I'm smiling fit to burst just thinking about it. I guess you'll be trying it out for yourself, right? Well, I'll be rooting for you, and I won't be the only one. Pretty much every Bridges staffer and prepper knows I know we'll be cheering you over that finish line. Excuse me. Not in person, obviously. I mean, I'd love to be their trackside, but it's just not going to happen. You'll have to make do with holograms instead. Virtual fans, I think the term is. Don't get too down about it, though. It is what it is, and we all know how dangerous it is out there. Anyway, we'll be there in spirit, and that's what counts. Just think, the bigger the UCA gets to be, the more fans you'll have. Good luck, Sam. Now get out there and make us proud. You're the real deal. Thanks, Sam. Once again, excellent work. Allow me to express my gratitude by making gravity gloves available for fabrication. I'm guessing you're not all that familiar with the technology from this world, but I promise you, these are special. They were developed in a research facility buried deep underground, one with a distinct logo. Speaking of research, I can't wait to start the experiments. No one's going to get the jump on me. No, sir. So I'll keep my briefing on the gloves simple. You can use them, collect, and carry a whole load of cargo, even if it's pretty spread out, within about a 50-meter radius, in fact. You don't really need to know any more than that. Just bear in mind that the battery operated, so try not to run out of juice. We're almost there. I hate to say it, Sam, Half-Life lover that you are, but there's another piece of cargo I need you to track down for me. A cube. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't very, very important. So could you do the honors? You've got to put your own well-being first, though, of course. So if you become lightheaded from thirst, feel free to pass out. As long as I get my cube back eventually, I'm not going to complain. Repetition is an indispensable component to progress in this world, which is why no one should ever criticize you, or anyone, for taking a much-needed break. As a matter of fact, I'm taking a break now. Not that I have much choice in the matter. I'm not quite myself without the cube, you see. Anyway, back to business. To find the cube, make your way to the craftsman shelter and then head west-northwest. You'll come across a ruined factory near the side of a highway, and the cube should be in there. Once you find it, take it to the distribution center south of Lake Knot City. I'm counting on you, Sam. Counting on you to give me a new lease on life. Strange like the incinerator. This is going to sound crazy, but you've got to believe me, Sam. So I was at the incinerator. They found a body near the way station. It needed to be burned. Since we don't exactly have a team of corpse disposal guys on call, I was given the job. I've been outside more than the other guys lately, so it makes sense. Wasn't like I could say no. Someone had to do it. Doesn't mean I wasn't scared shitless, though. I don't have dooms or anything, but you don't need special powers to know when a BT's caught your scent, and I could tell they weren't far behind. Just wanted to get the job done and come home, but then one of the fuckers popped up out of nowhere and nearly gave me a heart attack. Somehow I make it in the incinerator without getting grabbed, and that's when things got really weird. I saw this glowing light. This light, I guess? I wanted to take a closer look, but I wasn't about to take any chances. I had to get the hell out of there. Can't stop thinking about it now, though. You should check it out if you have the chance. Middle Knot City got nuked. You probably heard, but Middle Knot City was nuked about a year back. Civilian staff, everyone and everything gone in the blink of an eye. They said it was a terrorist attack. Demons doing their thing, assholes. Fragile got caught up in the whole mess somehow, though. Somehow, too, though I wasn't privy on the details. Long story short, they started screening deliveries a whole lot more thoroughly. Not that it made a difference. It was one tragedy after another. We lost half of the South Knot City not long after. Half's better than all, but a whole lot of people still died, and it shook the rest up pretty bad. They started to wonder if joining the UCA wasn't the worst choice they ever made. And the more people said it out loud, the more paranoid they got. It festered and spread, that thinking, beyond the city even. Not that it takes much for your average prepper to buy in. You might think becoming a part of the chiral network would have helped calm things down a little, but we still don't have a handle on the terrorists. Could all fall apart at any moment. But if it does, we can't let it beat us. Even if everything we've built breaks down, we've got to do what we can to patch it up. That's all there is to it. Desperate plea for a second pizza pie. Dear Mr. Sam Bridges, it is I, Peter Englert, the world's foremost connoisseur of the delicious pizzas you so faithfully deliver. Though my impudence would shame the very devil himself, I regret I must entreat you to bring us another of these delectable dishes, this time from South Knot City. I'm expecting company, a sweet couple of whom I am intensely fond. They insisted that they be allowed to take the air, but with the wilderness being so very dangerous, I refused to entertain the thought. Alas, while we will be remaining indoors, I am incapable of preparing anything but the most base and disagreeable cuisine, so must place yourself at your mercy yet again, lest the poor dear starve. While I have already, I am very much aware, gone far beyond the bounds of common decency in making this request, I must compound my sins with a stipulation. The pizza in question must be topped with the bacon of the incomparable Iberico pig. Fragile's name isn't Mud anymore. Hey Sam, South Knot City lives to see another day, eh? I remember the bomb those bastards set off before. People said Fragile was working with them, but they had it backwards. She was trying to save us, just like you did. Fortunately, this time around, everybody knows her part in it. Fragile's name won't be Mud around here much longer, I'll wager. It's all too easy to forget we're still alive because of people outside of our little enclave. But you've helped to remind us we're not alone. We're part of the UCA, which means we can't look to others for assistance. We've got to give back in return, and we will. Are we destroying ourselves? Before you came through, there were people blaming Bridges for our troubles left and right, saying it was their fault terrorists were targeting us more and more. There's no denying that they were, not after we lost Middle Knot and half of South, not to mention the other smaller incidents all over. Hell, even our old friend Mama got mixed up in one too. What we've got isn't new though. Well before the Stranding, folks all over had a hard-on for stockpiling nukes and other WMDs. Frankly, if the world hadn't gone to shit, we'd probably have blown it up by now. I tell you, there's nothing more dangerous and destructive than human beings. Call it morbid, but a part of me wants us to get it over with already if we're gonna. It's what humanity deserves, isn't it? If the stupidity we've shown in the wake of the Stranding is any indication. Marriage sucks. Ooh. So breaking your back hauling shit through the wilderness, Sam? Ever long for a little company? I know I used to. Not anymore. But between you and me, I can't help thinking life was easier back when I was on my own. The freedom to do whatever the hell I wanted. No one pissing and moaning over every tiny thing. Where does this girl get off being so fucking fussy? I swear I can't do anything right. Should have seen the fight we had the other night. I tell you, it's true what they say. Familiarity breeds contempt. Don't ever get married, Sam. Toast to a porter good and true. Dear Mr. Bridges, please accept my humblest apologies and my most heartfelt thanks. Once again, your incomparable pizza delivery skills have been put to the proof and found unimpeachable in every regard. Do forgive us if we seem ungrateful. The visiting couple, twin souls of decorum as they are, were desperate to present themselves to you in holographic form that they might express their heartfelt appreciation. Regretfully, they are hopeless novices in matters technological, and as I myself were away queuing vital supplies, I was unable to rectify the situation on their behalf. These circumstances conspired to produce the most unfortunate of outcomes yet again, a thankless end to the onerous and entirely bothersome task. If it's any consolation, the pizza was divine. Mr. Clearin, thanks to you. You're a good man, oh Sam. The down on this chip, eye-opening, like I figured it would be. I know our worlds were meant to mix. Record recall, impaired, probably an accident. An accident back in mine was the trigger, and then the chiralium did the rest. But back in mine, home sweet home. Can't say we've got anything as crazy as chiralium back home. From what I've seen of yours, our tech is a step ahead, and you've earned another taste, Portino. I upgraded your reverse trike with the chip data. Scan it. I think you'll dig it. This new and improved version's got better defense and can jump farther. I remember calling it Yaiba Kusanagi. I also tricked out your compass. The sensor pulse security systems that mule and terrorists use are shit. Dog shit. But now you can use compass mode to short them out for a minute. When in range, just focus on one of the poles. Careful though, shorting sensor poles uses your compass. Burns through more battery than the other feature I added. Sam, I heard you were at Mama's place. Well, I got a request for you, direct from Bridges. There's some cargo, rare metals that got swept up in the supercell, ended up at the bottom of the waterfall in northwest of South Knot. We need you to track it down and get it to the city. Check Mama's terminal for the official order. By the way, we received eyewitness reports of a small glowing object somewhere in the vicinity. Retrieving it's not part of the order, but I thought you might be interested regardless. Hate to hit you up direct, but we can't leave that cargo sitting there forever, and you're the best and only man for the job. A lot of people counting on you. Read 100 emails. You're amazing, Sam. I don't know what we've done without those materials, and that goes for everyone in the city, not just us staff. The chiral network's miraculous, obviously, but there's still a lot of material goods we can't live without. Folks like you are indispensable to our continued survival, and that's a fact. So don't ever think that what you're doing isn't appreciated. We're grateful for everything, Sam, and you can be sure that we'll make good use of all of that you brought to us to build all kinds of new facilities and equipment. Thank you. We used to have things called magazines. Back before the Stranding, there was a medium known as the magazine, a collection of articles and pictures printed on paper. Some magazines had hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of readers. At the height of their popularity, it wasn't rare for people to get all their information and news from them. Journalists and editors would collect data, conduct interviews, and compile them into weekly or monthly issues, and readers would devour them with relish. My own father was the editor of a popular magazine, one that published hints and strategies for beating popular video games. Sadly, not long before the Stranding, digital media rose to prominence, and that spelled the end for print publications. Thanks to the internet, anyone could produce content, and anyone could consume said content. People became their own editors, their own curators of truth, as it were. But my father was always one to swim against the tide, and so he stuck with print. In spite of the writing on the wall, they called him the last editor-in-chief. Over the years, he amassed a massive number of magazines and newspapers, all of which I was free to peruse growing up. After he passed away, I took up the mantle and continued expanding the collection. But now in this post-Stranding world, we have the chiral network. It is incredible technology, but will it be no different than the internet in the end? I, for one, have no desire to see it descend into a cesspool of abuse and misinformation. If nothing can be done to prevent that, then I want nothing to do with it. Hold on, I'm getting a text here. Hold on. Ah, shit. Okay. Well, I figured this might happen on the second or third day of her recovering. I got to go down and help my mom out. She says like her throat swelled from the surgery. It's like hard for her to swallow and shit. And she wants someone to stay with her, so to make sure that she's like not having any breathing issues or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead. Let me turn this off. I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the short video here, but thank you all for watching. This goes what time is this? This goes at 6 o'clock. Yeah, so I'll just real quick try to pop this video up tonight when I get home. So we'll set it for like tomorrow or something. Hopefully she'll be better tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Again, this is my mom. I'm not fucking around with that after her surgery, so you know I'm not screwing around. Obviously, you know, helping her out takes priority, so is what I'm saying. Thanks for watching, everybody. Did I remember to save? Yes, I did. I believe so. Yes, I did. Okay. All right. I'm getting out of here for now. Thank you all for watching, ladies and gents. See you guys next time.